Hi, I'm Garm One, and this is Midgardia's cool crowdfunding show. I'm here today with Amít Moshe. How's it going?
Going great. Thank you for having me. Good to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. So, this time you're here to tell us about Tokyo OTHERSCAPEs. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's our new cyberpunk game, cyberpunk fantasy game. It takes kind of like a spin on the City of Mist cosmology, and where you have mythoi that live inside of people, but it's kind of postulates that in the future, the noise and all the stimuli from everything in life, whether it's technology and just like mostly technology, but different types of technology. That noise is kind of blocking mythoi from being incarnated in people. So uh, there are many different types of effects for it, but one of the effects is that people have to start using all kinds of rituals and objects and places to get it. And there is a kind of an arms race between the power players in the geopolitical situation in the world, whether it's corporations or governments or crime organizations, to like grab these mythologically powered items. And that's where you come in. You're a kind of a half cybernetic, half magical mercenary, and fighting for your life, fighting for your job. Obviously, a lot more to it, but that's kind of the pitch.
Right on. So this is not just a cyberpunk game on the City of Mist like chassis. It is a far future of the City of Mist universe.
Yeah, it is and it isn't, because in the City of Mist you have the city and we don't know what it is, and a part of it's a mystery game. A part of it is finding out what the city is if you're doing like a really long campaign and getting into that. But that's kind of it's not so it's you don't know if it's the same universe or not, because here it's the real world, so to speak. It's a fictional version of the real world, and but it definitely borrows very heavily or is connected cosmologically with City of Mist. Yeah.
Right on. Right on. So, it does run on the basic City of Mist framework as we've discussed, but I believe there's some changes this time around to rework it a bit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so we it's the game is going. OtherScape is going to run on City of Mist Reloaded, which is a kind of a streamlined version of City of Mist. We have a next gen system that's coming in the future, and Reloaded is kind of the first step towards that direction. And the main thing that's going to be different is we're streamlining the moves. Instead of 8 moves that are very supernatural noir inclined for City of Mist, we're thinking of it's still in process, but we're thinking of kind of like shrinking it down to 5 core moves, core mechanics, and using that to run the game more smoothly and kind of adapt it to adventuring.
Right on. So, what does the average Otherscape session look like?
So the other scape sessions are, we call them jobs, because the base story is that we are a team that has some kind of a objective or a job or a mission to carry out. We're mercenaries, or we are privateers, or we are employees sometimes of some of those corporations, because a lot of the good cyberpunk stories start when you're beholden to a corporation or organization, but then things flip later. So and we kind of touched on it for people who want to play gatekeepers in one of our expansions for City of Mist. So yeah, you can start as any one of those crews. Same as City of Mist, but crews that are typical to the cyberpunk setting, and you run a job. And of course the job can go wrong. The job can get entangled in all kind of personal motivations of the characters. We're still keeping that really strong narrative streak that City of Mist had, but it's all kind of built around the job, and what happens from there, I leave it to the players and MCs.
Yeah, so it's not like the kind of hex crawly free roaming sort of thing that you may find in a fantasy game. It's more you have a mission, complete it, screw it up, and hopefully don't die.
Yeah, pretty much that. Although you can definitely end up, in different places around the world. Traveling in Cyberpunk is pretty easy, and there can also be some elements of exploration because for different reasons. Like a lot of your jobs would be to go into a ruined sector of the megacity and try to find some kind of a temple there, or try to dive into a sector of cyberspace and try to find some information in there. So there can be elements of exploration.
Right on, right on. Delving the ruins of forgotten Vancouver.
Exactly, exactly that. God knows what you'll find there.
Uh, well,
Gods know.
yeah. So there's actually two books in this Kickstarter. Can you tell me about the split between those?
Yeah, so we're going to have a core book called Metro Otherscape with everything you need to play the game and some initial content. We already unlocked an adventure. It's going to be a learn as you play adventure. So it's in the style of our pretty popular, very popular, I should say, starter box where you kind of just um, as you're playing, you're reading things and get to know all the terms of the game. So that's going to be Metro Otherscape. The other book, Tokyo Otherscape, is going to have to focus on Japan. So it's going to be a content supplement and a content book or a supplement that has pretty much more of everything. So more jobs, more dangers, which are adversaries, but all of it is going to be with the focus of the megacities of Japan and the spirits of Japan, like yokai, kami, and oni, all of those demons and spirits and specters of Japan.
Right on. So
So
this must have been a fairly resource intensive project then, hey?
yeah, I mean, we have a range of writers that we bring on for writing all this stuff. There's a lot of art involved. We also have a number of artists. Some of the writers, some of the artists are Japanese, so they can kind of bring something from that culture into that book. Others are just amazing writers that we want to work with. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty big project. We've done this before. So we're kind of we have a well-oiled machine when it comes to production. So we're looking forward to getting started on that.
Yeah, this is not your first rodeo. I know that well enough.
Yeah, not our first rodeo, totally.
I see that you've got a companion app in the works too. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking, okay, we're doing a cyberpunk. We're in the future, and we're going further into the future. Are we going to actually do something about how we engage with, role playing games content? And I was thinking to myself, what would be really cool? Like I like using my phone. I'm on my phone when I'm, just like lying around, passing the time or like just chilling out. And I want to be able to explore the book there. And I like phone PDFs, but I find them they're still quite rigid compared to what we can do. Um, I know a lot of the stuff that we put out there are videos rather than text. So what we thought of was like breaking down the book into 100-word paragraphs and then organizing them in a way where you can just swipe right and left in order to switch between topics, and then scroll or swipe up and down um, to read more, and then add other types of media into that. So first of all, separate all the examples from the core idea, then add some explainer videos, add some read aloud text that is actually read aloud for you. So different things like that. And of course, all the interconnectivity between the different concepts and how they relate to one another. So really excited about producing that. It's not nothing crazy, but I think it will be interesting to explore a new way of coming in contact with that material.
Right on. Yeah, no, it looks great. There's some examples of how it will look on the page, and it's good. Honestly, the art of this entire project is fantastic.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. It's most of it is by creator Isago Fukuda, who also is the creator of Queers, which was our previous Kickstarter. So he's made most of the character art here, and there's another couple of artists that were doing some background art, some action art. Aryo Murthy, who's the City of Mist longtime artist, also came back. So we have a really great team, and it's going to grow obviously after the Kickstarter as we start generating all this art for the books.
Right on. So it's 69 US, nice, for the core book and the setting. So that's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, usually on Kickstarters, we're going to try to, you know, offer a special price, probably that, won't come back until maybe in 5, 6 years when the game is kind of like declining and going out of cycle or being replaced by a new version. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to grab it ahead of time, and if you're into this kind of stuff, definitely make use of that, price.
Are there any other aspects of Otherscape that you'd like to talk about while we're here?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we really like, I mean, obviously, we're going to have a lot of, you can go on the Kickstarter and see like the type of dangers and adversaries we have planned, the character sheet. We kind of took the character sheet one step forward with a new loadout theme, which has tags that you can load into it, like equipment, and that's the kind of a thing that isn't really in focus when you're playing in an ensemble story, but when you're playing a cyberpunk job thing, it's really important what you're carrying. So that's going to be a focus. There's a lot. There's really a lot. One of the things we like is that a lot of time in cyberpunk stories and games, everybody has to kind of sit out while the hacker is doing their thing with the GM, and there's like a mini game going on. We're going to introduce something called harnessing inside the universe, where the hacker can harness the minds of his party members by kind of like plugging them into this virtual reality interface. And as they're fighting whatever the hacker has created for them, it translates into computational power for the hacker to actually hack. So it's like a conversion of, if they're trying to catch someone or trace them around the world, it's a chase. If they're trying to break into a firewall, it could be a fight, a gunfight, and it kind of keeps all the other players relevant in the scene.
I like that. That's sort of like metaphorical VR. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And yeah, it's also kind of opens a new type of adventures because you can take the whole crew for adventures in cyberspace. And so I don't know if when people check it out, you can see that there are kind of like three facets to this universe. There's like the self, which is more about your identity. There is the noise, which is about technology and cybernetics, and there's mythos, which is about all the legends and myths. And obviously, these legends and myths and technology connect pretty easily to humans, but there is a side of that pyramid where they meet without a physical body, and that's something we're really interested in exploring. Like, what happens when mythoi, incarnate in cyberspace? What does that look like? And that's going to be pretty cool to explore as well.
Oh hell yeah! Like some sort of ancient memetic virus from times far forgotten and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. So,
A little
um,
bit of Snow Crash there. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of those are the main things that we have planned. There's so much more. We're trying to um, keep people up to speed with some videos that we're releasing throughout the campaign and some new content. So, welcome to come in and check it out as we're rolling it out.
Right on. And yeah, like if you're watching this, please go click the link below. You can play an Onmyoji detective. That's what I'm probably gonna play.
There you go.
And yeah, no, like it's been great having you on again, Amit. You should absolutely go back this, please. I'm gesturing to the left because that's where my monitor is. But please.
Please do. But yeah, it's if you like it, Fire away. It will come later, probably but this is an opportunity to grab a lot of stuff, including early access to the app, which backers will receive. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're already, very excited about how much support this project has received so far.
Yeah, and the fancy like tracking cards. It's almost at that stretch goal. You should get those. Those are really cool.
Yeah, I know. We're really excited about that design. It's we're kind of like, okay, how can we do this but cyberpunk? And we came up with this, so we're pretty happy about it. It's very neon.
Yeah, and they'll still be useful for queers or for City of Mist or anything else that comes out in the future.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and they just look really cool. All right, well,
I like it.
Amit, it's been great having you on again.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm always glad to. And for those of you watching, have a good night.